Hello and welcome back to Bannerlord and Byron's Adventures. Now, we're actually at war against the Vlandians, if you can believe it. Yeah, they declared war against me a couple of minutes ago, and I decided, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to do some damage against them. And we are currently fielding a pretty strong army. I have gone to some of my garrisons to see if I could find any more cavalry, and it turns out that I found a couple of these, about 5 or so, of the Imperial Cavalry, and then I also found about 2 elite cataphracts. So trying to basically just increase the amount of units that we have available to us, especially considering their cavalry. Any cavalry whatsoever, we're going to try and take them, even if they are Imperials. I'm thinking we're probably just going to take Imperials and Crusade at this point, and that's basically it. Because, of course, the Imperials are kind of dead, so it kind of makes sense for us to be able to use those anyway. I have leveled up a number of our forces already, so I've leveled up all of my companions and children and things like that. I've given them more traits. I've spent all their focus points and things like that. And now what I wanted to actually do was check to see whether this clan has any fiefs. As you can see, they actually do not. And it's kind of funny because this this particular clan was actually part of the Kingdom of Byronia, but of course they decided to leave. And yeah, that has actually been happening a great deal, which is, I guess, not surprising because I haven't really been able to give them that many fiefs, because whenever we have people, we just don't do anything with them. So if for example, I attempt to do anything with him, obviously I can't do that because he's actually not the person that I have to speak to. I have to actually speak to Garrisons. So I will just send my troops in. We'll just do an auto-resolve very, very quickly indeed. Get that guy out of the way. And amusingly enough, I have actually been able to win fights extremely easily just by auto-resolving. And that is all thanks to the amazing power of cavalry. Cavalry is just insane in this game. But anyway, as you can see, yeah, this is what it has come down to now. This has literally drained us so dramatically, and there are a lot of people with a lot of influence here. I mean, just look at these guys. They've got 1,500 influence and things like that. But that's exactly the point. Look at this. Our armies are running around with 277 and 206. It is highly unlikely that we will be able to do anything dramatically fantastic. And that's a bit of a problem. Now, you can see here that Phykeon has the most units in from the garrison. There's a reason for that, because I have actually been placing all of my leftover units, the ones that are not cavalry, in the garrison there. So if anything bad happens, Phykeon is going to be the place that we'll go to try and recuperate some of our lost strength. But that's exactly the point. What I've been trying to do is just try and eliminate as many of these Vlandians as we possibly can. Oh, what's actually happened here? Eliminate Northern Empire? Wait a minute, look at this. What? What's actually happening with those guys? Oh, okay. Apparently they've given me a new quest to eliminate the Northern Empire. Not entirely sure how they were even able to recover, because they did have their fief get... Oh, actually, they've taken this one down here. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So, obviously, if you don't know, we had this clan in our kingdom, and they defected, and so they have revived the Northern Empire once again. Seems like a vicious cycle, does it not? All right, well, I'm going to see if we can maybe catch up to this guy. Yeah, he's moving extremely slowly in comparison to us. He only has 48 units. We will just send our troops in once again. And even if we end up losing 1 unit here or there, I'm actually not sure what we just lost. Just 1 Crusade horseman. Really not a big deal, in my opinion. And we're going to be taking all of these guys, as many of these guys prisoner as I can possibly get my hands on. Also, we will be probably taking quite a few of their prisoners. Maybe not actually, because I thought they might have more Crusade. Oh, I actually missed out on a Crusade horseman there. Oh well, not a particularly big deal. All right, so I would actually like to fight this guy, if at all possible. That is Attis, and I would like to see if we can maybe defeat him. Yeah, okay, we're going to have to head in here, because an auto-resolve is not going to cut the mustard suffice it to say. So we're going to need to get in there and see what we can do. Now, I have been quite successful in the battles that I have had to do in manual. And amusingly enough, I actually did do a little bit of Step Bandit prisoner taking, because amusingly enough, I am actually faster with 140 units than parties with above 20 units in. So that's pretty cool in my opinion, because that means that I can basically run around Step Bandit territory and pretty much just do whatever we want to do, and we can catch up to the parties that we can then try and defeat in an auto-resolve battle most of the time, because usually those are going to provide you with the most prisoners, or at least that's what I think, and we will... we had actually good success with that. We actually had good success, so I was able to recruit quite a few of those prisoners so far. That I've actually started recruiting them now, so that's really good, because I was actually a bit worried that I might not be able to, but it seems like it just takes quite a long time for that to happen. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, we're pretty good here. We're pretty good here. I don't think we're going to have too many difficulties. I mean, obviously, as you could tell, it was pretty simple for us to defeat this guy. It really just was a case of going in manually rather than attacking in auto-resolve. Oh, nice. We took him down. He actually lost his horse. Oh, no, never mind. I actually thought that was the... I thought that was the enemy lord. I always think that, you know. I absolutely always think that every single time. Oh, you can see here that Triss is actually gaining a huge amount of riding skill, because she had 0 in endurance, and she also had 0 focus points in riding skill itself. And I have now rectified that problem, and now she's going to be gaining insane amounts of experience from riding skill and things like that. So it's going to be really cool to see all of our companions and children and things like that become even more powerful than they were beforehand. All right, so I will be... Oh, I can actually rescue some stuff. Oh, that's cool. I love it when we can rescue things, even though most of these are probably not going to be taken by me at all, because I would like to continue running around as fast as we possibly can, so I will just take those Imperial units. I could technically take the heavy cavalry as well. I suppose I will take some of those, even though that's not something that I really badly wanted to do. But I will do it nevertheless, just because they are cavalry and it kind of makes sense in that regard. I could also take a number of these as well, but these are... I think someone said that they were able to get a tier 5 unit to join them, and in which case, wow, you're very lucky, because I have never had the opportunity to do that. At least, maybe I just wasn't able to keep them in my army long enough. But anyway, pretty happy with that. We can now head onward. Don't have to really worry about anyone else attacking us here. And that's basically what I've been attempting to do. Literally just trying to reduce the power level of the VLANDians. We're actually just going to go over here and see exactly how powerful they are. They're actually not even that powerful. They only have 13,000. The Northern Empire, amusingly enough, has 4,800, because they just gained 5 vassals out of nowhere, which is pretty crazy. All right, so we have another fight against someone that is a little bit stronger than a automatic victory, shall we say. We might actually end up losing a couple of units here, but that's not too bad. I do have 36 raider prisoners in my prisoner's hold at the moment, and they are going to be very, very nice to try and recruit. Obviously, it is going to take quite a bit of time for that to actually happen, but hopefully my patience will be rewarded in the end, because I have noticed that when the raiders level up and you can actually, you know, convert them into regular units, it costs 1 warhorse to be able to do that. And then as soon as the warhorse has been spent, you don't need to spend any other horses to level them up. So as soon as they level up that one time, you're going to be in a great position to gain all kinds of crazy, powerful, noble units, but it is going to take quite some time to actually get that working initially, and that's the main problem there. But it's alright, as long as we've got some patience. I mean, that's the whole point, you know, the game is very much about patience, you know, it is about making sure that, you know, all kinds of risks are reduced as much as you possibly can, because if you don't do that, well, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it quite a bit. Anyway, I'm also partially considering starting to execute people. I know. I didn't really want to do that, personally, because that's what I ended up doing with Barney the First, Byron's father, of course. And, well, it seems like maybe that might be the only way to progress in the campaign, unless we want to continue fighting against a wide variety of enemies again and again. So I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work, because obviously I do not have the Prevent Escape mod, or at least the mod that makes it a little bit more difficult for the opponent to be freed. So that's... I'm kind of in a bit of a pickle there, because on the one hand, I have taken so many of these guys prisoner, and it makes a great deal of sense to think about potentially executing them. But if I think about executing them, I then think about how everyone started to absolutely hate us like no one's business, and then I think, okay, probably not a good idea. So it's a bit of a quandary, because if you take a look at my party screen right here, you can see how many units do I actually have. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 8. 8 guys that I could potentially execute, and that is going to remove them completely from the game. And as a result, we would then have a much easier time of dealing with the enemy vassals, because they are not going to have as much power, they're not going to have as many people assisting them and things like that. And that's how it's going to go. But again, I didn't really want to do that. That was the main theme that I had with Byron's playthrough, where I did not execute anyone, because technically executing is probably the most efficient, the easiest way actually to progress in a meaningful fashion. Because if you don't do that, if you don't execute and you do everything by the book, as we have been doing, then you're going to see exactly what's happening. We're losing clans away from our kingdom. You know, they're all ending up leaving eventually because of various factors. And the thing is that it's not like that's the thing, I'm not being greedy. The thing is that I'm not being greedy at all. I'm literally trying my hardest to give as many fiefs to others as many times as I possibly can. The only reason why my clan at the moment has 10 fiefs is because I can't distribute them to anywhere else, unless you have a mod installed, and I'm not entirely sure. I think someone actually did mention a mod in the comments that does allow you to distribute fiefs, which is probably something that I will take a look at, and I'll definitely see about whether I should install it or not, because some mods do have some incompatibilities and things, and I don't really want to mess with my save game any further than I needed to beforehand. So, you know, you can kind of understand that. Sometimes things do have some issues with each other. But anyway, the point is that generally, whenever there's a game update or something like that, that's usually when things will break. And you know, that's what's so funny. I didn't even have any problems with my mods the last time I had an issue with the game. It was actually the game itself that was giving me a problem. So yeah, sometimes it's not the mods at all, which is kind of weird. But anyway, there you go. The point is that I'll probably see about that mod, because if I'm able to redistribute fiefs to various people within our kingdom, then we're going to have a much likelier chance to keep them. Or at least I would hope that would be the case, because at the moment we really don't have very many opportunities to keep vassals. Even if I do give them fiefs, they just require more. You know what I mean? Some of them are kind of greedy, so they're always going to be like, oh, you know, I don't have more than one fief, and it just so happens to be a town or something like that. I'm not entirely sure if Calatilde is actually still part of our faction. If she isn't, then she might have taken Tile with her, and that's not a great thing to lose at all, because Tile is actually one of the most profitable towns in our empire, if you can believe that. There's literally, I think it has 13,000 prosperity or something like that, which is actually really nice. But anyway, there you go, another victory for us right there. And yeah, so basically that's what I'm saying right now. I don't know whether I will be able to do it unless I can kind of convince a number of people, a number of vassals to stay with us, because if they don't stay with us, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to make considerable progress here. The only thing that I can do is what I'm actually doing now, which is, of course, to eliminate vassals on the fields of battle and pretty much just keep them in my party as long as I possibly can. And that's pretty much it. And of course, because I don't have the other mod that prevents them from escaping, or basically gives them a very low chance of escaping, I think it's like 15% or 10% or whatever, you can actually customize that as well. So, you know, it's not always the same flat percentage value, but the point is that you can do that. Oh, there we go. Ah, yes, fantastic. So the Northern Empire has now been defeated. So what does that mean? There we go, victory. The Empire has been destroyed, and now they have all joined the Sturgians, hilariously enough. Okay, the Empire has been destroyed, so that means I have now completed, well, technically I have now completed this, and the conspiracy strength is at 2,000. Obviously, it's been like that for quite some time, so I'm actually not entirely sure what is going to happen now, but it doesn't seem like anything, really. It seems like that is probably the end of the main quest line. Don't think they've added anything onto that yet. So, well, that's pretty cool though. That's pretty cool that we were able to do that. All right, so that's the thing. Do I want to go to Saniopa? Probably not. They have over 1,700 enemies in the garrison there, which is insane. That is really, really insane. And who do we actually have in our... okay, so we've got three clans. We've got Kareth, who's actually doing a fantastic job. He's actually really good. There's Calatilde, so she is actually still part of our faction, which is great. And then we have these guys who do not have a fief, which is really bad. And as you can no doubt tell, I do have 10 fiefs, but I did not give any fief to myself upon creating my own faction and actually having any vassals. That's the point. I haven't really been greedy there. So if you're coming in at this point and you think, oh, you've given yourself 10 fiefs, no, that's not how it went. So I'd recommend watching the previous episodes to see exactly how we've gotten to this point. But anyway, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do. I suppose what we can try is maybe taking a castle, but I have such a small army at the moment, it's not really going to work. So the only thing that I can do is pretty much exactly what I've been doing. Hunt down those vassals as much as I possibly can and see if I can weaken them that way. Ah, now look at who we have here. We have Mr. Garrios. He's the fellow that actually ended up leaving our faction beforehand. And I'm actually going to try and persuade him. Wow. An 83% critical success chance, and I failed it. Oh, wow. He hates my guts. Look at that. What do you bet we... Yeah. I was going to say, what do you bet we actually gained success on the 61%er? Yeah, we did. And there's actually another critical success here. So even if I had just gotten one little success on the previous attempts, then that would have been really, really nice to do. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to fight you, sir. Yes, it's actually kind of hilarious to think that he actually left our faction, and he probably would have been pretty safe just staying with us, and that's a thing that I think needs to be worked on quite a bit with the vassals. I know I've said this before, but it's just true. You know, you just really... There just needs to be some kind of tweaking in regards to the vassals constantly faction hopping. I know that people have told me in the comments that you need to give them fiefs and things like that, but how am I supposed to give them fiefs if they faction hop after 2 days or even a day of them being a part of my my faction? And you got to also bear in mind that I don't have the ability to give them my own fiefs. Like, you can do that in Warband, but you can't do that in Bannerlord, which I think is a bit weird. But, you know, it's just obviously not implemented yet by the developers. It is implemented by mods, I would assume, somehow. But, yeah, I obviously don't have any of that installed at the moment. So I probably will have to do that, and then I can start distributing some fiefs to people. And that's more than likely going to provide a much greater security to the various vassals that will no doubt be joining us and becoming part of our empire for much longer to come, hopefully, because at the moment we're having some staples. You know, we've got some stable units in our faction, and there's a couple of vassals there that have actually been with us for a while, and they seem to be sticking with us. So they seem to be quite honorable in comparison to the other ones that just want to faction hop all over the place every single second of every single day. So that's going to be nice. That's going to be very, very nice. So I'll check that mod out that you suggested. There was one person that suggested that. And I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Because being able to have that functionality is pretty much priceless, I would say. Because if the vassals, as other people have suggested, if they have a problem because they don't have enough fiefs or something like that, and they end up leaving for that reason, then, well, it's a good idea to get a mod to fix that functionality, isn't it? Because otherwise, if that functionality isn't there in the base game, and it's just not implemented, then we'll definitely need to do something about it, won't we? Oh, nice. Nice shot. Come on, sir. Come on, Byron. You can do this. There we go. That was Garrisons himself. And I believe that is going to be that. There we are. Wonderful victory. Only 2 casualties taken. Very nice indeed. We are able to take him prisoner. As you can see, for some reason, he gives me 117 only. So does that mean he's completely bankrupt? I think so. I think so. Anyway, I'm not going to be taking anything from him here. As I've said before, I just want to stay as mobile as possible, he says as he takes an entire inventory worth of stuff. Yes, exactly. But you can see here that we're gaining some very small bits of money here and there. And there is Faya. Hello. Yes, I will be chasing you because I am extremely quick with our cavalry-only army. And you can see just how insanely fast it is for us to achieve victory here. So incredibly fast. And we're just going to continue taking loot. All of this loot is going to be selling for such a great deal of money at any one of the towns that we decide to go to. Now, I'm thinking that, are they actually even taking stuff from us right now? Because it looks to me like we have exactly the same fiefs that we had beforehand. So I'm thinking that they probably... Yeah, that's kind of weird. That is actually kind of weird. Oh yeah, by the way, the Azarai actually did declare war on us, and I made peace with them before I started this recording, actually. And I tried fighting some of them, and they are actually very good against horse archers. Their thrown weapon capability is so good that they were able to take out quite a few of my units without any difficulty whatsoever. So it seems like the Azarai might be the most dangerous for us to fight against. So we probably are going to have to be a bit careful of those in the future. But yeah, otherwise I'm not entirely sure what I should do, because I don't really want to raid villages if at all possible. Oh, hello there. Why do you have 0? Why do you have 0? I'm not entirely sure. Why are you running around with zero people? Uh-huh. Okay. Sure. Okay, let's fight him. I hope this doesn't crash my game. No. Okay, apparently it's not going to crash my game. I am actually just going to save real quick because I'm a bit worried about potentially crashing speaking to a bugged NPC or something like that, because he's just running around with basically no units, because he is, I would assume, starving his units by not having any food, which I think is the reason for that. But yeah, anyway, I could be doing a little bit of raiding. Raiding is probably something that could be quite advantageous to us, because if we start raiding things, then we're probably going to have we're probably going to do some damage to their economy. And then we're going to, of course, prevent them from doing quite some recruiting as well. So that might be something to take into account, but I don't know whether it's really worth it, because it's one village, you know, it's one village, and I think that could be quite difficult to do multiple times. So I'm not entirely sure. I could call for an army. That's the thing that I think we could definitely do. But here's the thing. I mean, I could call for Barney, Thomond, Panalia, Tassinor, and Barnabas, as well as Yana. But this is, as you can see, this is going to take them 10 days to get over to where I currently am. So it's probably not going to be something for me to do right now, but I could definitely do it in the near future. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to try and do as much damage to the VLANDians as possible. Oh, hello. Oh, what's going on here? It seems like the Botanians are actually fighting against the VLANDians as we speak, which is actually perfect because that means that we will be able to prey upon the weaker Vlandians and see if we can do some significant damage. Yes, some significant damage. All right, so let's just take this, and we will. I'm actually going to go up to Pen Cannock because no doubt these guys are going to. Oh, wait a minute. I think I can just leave it. I think I can just leave them alone for the moment. And we could just use the standard strategy of pretty much just waiting until armies disband due to low cohesion or something like that. And then we can just continue onward from there. As you can see, 25,000 from this, another 40,000 from that. And I'm actually wondering how much we're going to gain from that. Whoa, look at that. Crazy amounts. That is pretty crazy. All right, so yeah, we're just going to take all of the loot here. Oh yeah, I should actually also sell a bunch of my trade goods that I, for some reason, have. I guess I just looted these from somewhere. And there we go. So that's 100,000. And we also gained some trade skill. We also gained some trade skill, so that's pretty nice. Anyway, let's just take a quick look and see exactly how many units this guy has in his army. And I'm talking about how many recruits he has. So let's have a look. Ooh. Now, yeah, okay. I'm kind of skeptical about this, but I think we might actually have a decent shot. I'm going to shadow them because they are going to go over to a castle, and this could very well be one of the best opportunities that we've had so far. I'm just going to level up a couple of our forces here just so that we can get some more people out onto the battlefield that are actually strong. Or should we say stronger, because we already have some pretty strong units. As you can see, we're getting some raiders here. I have 34 more to recruit. Actually, 33 more now. And yeah, I have a lot of vassals in my prisoner's hold. But those things, it doesn't really matter because they're going to be released very, very quickly, unfortunately. Oh, there's Cervic over there. I wouldn't actually mind attacking him. Yeah, is he leading that army over there? I'm not entirely sure. Oh well, never mind. I'm just going to continue shadowing Encurion for the moment. Who's that? Ah, that guy. I see. I see. I will be chasing you, sir. There we go, and we will just take him out real quick. So fantastic to be able to auto-resolve really, really fast. We do have those tactics skills, by the way, so that's the main reason why our auto-resolves are so extremely impressive, because the tactics skill does improve your simulation battles by a massive amount. And that's going to be very, very cool for us to use. Okay, so I'm actually just going to wait and see what happens here. Because how many people do they have here? Oh, they have no one? Yeah, they have literally no one in the garrison, so I was actually hoping that the army would be significantly weakened from their attack against the castle, but that doesn't look to be the case because, as you can see, there's only 40 units in there. So it's going to be very simple for these guys to take it. Alright, so I've actually decided to speak to Encurion right here because we have just had a war declaration from the Aserai, and that seems to be a thing that generally tends to happen quite often now. And so what I'm going to try to do is I will try and persuade this guy. There we go, 94% chance. That's pretty good. So I will try to persuade this guy to actually join us. And I'm thinking he has. Doesn't he have... Oh no, this guy actually joined us beforehand. Oh, that is hilarious. Okay, well, I'm going to try and persuade him nevertheless so that the army can get broken up a little bit. As you can see, they've now joined. And I should have a pretty decent shot of taking these guys on now. Is that true? Let me actually just see. Maybe. Maybe. Let's actually just take it. Oh, this guy's got 28 Vlandian sharpshooters. Okay, yeah, probably not a good idea to attack this guy, at least for the moment, because I'd be able to beat this guy by himself. Don't get me wrong, I'd probably be able to do that. But as it stands right now, this guy with 28 Vlandian sharpshooters, probably not going to be the best idea. So I'm just going to leave Encurion to his fate because, let's face it, no offense, but I don't really care about him that much. You know, because he left us in the lurch beforehand. And I think it's just justice, what he's getting right now. You know, I think that's pretty much justice. So, wait a minute. a couple of people actually went inside. Okay, we might be able to bait a couple of people. Aha, this is perfect. Look at this. This is exactly what we want. Okay, let's get him. Get him. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so these guys are just mercenaries. I'm going to just literally go and do an auto-resolve here. We are going to lose a couple of people, as you can see. We lost Khan's Guard, Heavy Horse Archer, and so on and so forth, but I would prefer to get that fight out of the way really, really fast so that we can continue to chase after the other guy. And, well, we've actually got some troops to rescue. Oh, okay. Imperial Cataphract, I suppose. Imperial Elite Cataphract as well, which is very nice. And we can also take some light cavalry if we so desire. As I said before, I'm literally only going to be taking cavalry in every single aspect here, because it just makes more sense, in my opinion, considering we are so deep in enemy territory. We really cannot have a situation where we are outpaced by the enemy. Okay, so this guy is the guy with 27 sharpshooters. So basically what I can do now is literally just pick off anyone else in the area. Pretty crazy for us to be able to do that. And we will just go into another auto-resolve here. Going to be a super easy battle against this guy. And we will be taking him prisoner as well. Now I'm going to speak to the other fellow nearby to us. And I will see whether we can try and either persuade him to join us or make peace with VLANDIA, because we have already done quite a lot of damage to them. Krotor. I believe he was actually a person that was in our faction beforehand. These guys. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's try it. I mean, it's obvious that he's probably going to end up joining us, but if he wants money, on top of that, I will not be doing that, because paying him a significant amount to literally join me and then leave again is not going to be a good idea. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Incurion has been freed because of the peace declaration? I don't think... No. The VLANDians have not made peace with me. Okay, that's kind of strange. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so this guy is now running off. And... you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to try and speak... Not to this guy. I'd like to speak to Ospia. Oh, look, look. He's actually starving. His units are actually starving right now. This is pretty fantastic. I'm actually going to try and speak to him. See if we can try to persuade him to join us, because this guy is actually really, really powerful. And it would be pretty fantastic if we could get him. I think he also... Wasn't he a part of us? Yeah, I think he was actually a part of our faction, but he also left. I think VLANDians just generally tend to be kind of sneaky, covert guys, and they do tend to leave factions quite often. But there you go. We've also gotten this guy to join us now, so we have gained quite a lot of power in such a short span of time, which is actually very nice. Let's see what else I can do here. Cervic. We might be able to get him. Hello there. Where are you? Are you there? Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay, so let's go and speak to him. Yes, Dionicos. See, look at this. Dionicos has now left our faction once again, which is very typical, shall we say. Very typical of them. Okay, so let's have a look. This guy's going to be pretty hard, as you can see. Yeah, he's going to be really, really difficult to get. A 91% chance was ineffective, and then the 61%er, I feel like some of these are completely fixed to not work, and it is not an actual percentage chance, because 91% chance, I mean, really? Come on now. It seems like that always tends to fail in that regard. Oh well, never mind. I guess I'm going to make peace with this guy, because we do have to now deal with the Azarai. Or technically you know what? You know what? I'm going to attack this guy. I'm going to attack him, and what we're going to do is I'm going to go over to the Azarai, and I'm going to make peace with them instead, and we're just going to continue attacking the VLANDians, and that's literally all we're going to try and do. And in that time, I'm going to try to persuade as many people as I possibly can to join us, and hopefully that is then going to transfer a couple of fiefs over to us, and that's probably going to be something pretty cool. At least I hope so. Okay, this is going to be kind of difficult because they do have crossbowmen, and crossbowmen are pretty good against horse archers. Oh, nice. Nice. Got one of those VLANDian sharpshooters out of there. That's pretty good. Okay, Okay, so these guys are going to be charging straight on in here. We should probably do a little bit of damage ourselves too. Oh, yeah. Oh, take out his horse. Very nice. If you can't take out the rider, then at least take out the horse, because otherwise they're going to be mobile like no one's business, and they're going to do so much damage as a result of that. Look at Triss gaining 12 skill points in riding. Yes, that's what I like to see. And then we'll just take out these singular units right here. They don't seem to be shooting. This is kind of weird. It is kind of weird, because it's like, oh, I'm just going to run around and dance a little bit, and then you can cut me down in my prime of being a VLANDian sharpshooter. Yes, that seems to be what's going on there. Oh, well, never mind. There you go. Literally 0 casualties. I'm kind of surprised about that. I thought that we would probably have quite some difficulties dealing with this guy, but here's the thing. The main reason why I don't want to make peace with these guys is literally for the fact that all of the prisoners that I have taken would be released. Or shall we say most of them would be released. And that's definitely something that I don't want at this point. Okay, I'm going to just go into my inventory real quick, see if anyone needs anything. As you can see, Yara actually needs a whole bunch of stuff. And she's gained some upgrades for free, which is actually very cool. And I'm going to be attacking this guy as well. I'm thinking we might want to try and persuade him to join us, but I don't think he is the leader of his clan. No, Servic actually is. That's hilarious. Okay, yeah, so you're just gonna die, sir. Terribly sorry to inconvenience you by throwing you in the dungeon. Yes. Oh wow, his forces were actually able to kill 2 of my heavy horse archers. Very impressive. Very impressive. Okay, well, let's take him prisoner as well. And yeah, VLANDian Knights, I guess, because I can't... Oh, I should have taken the light cavalry as well. Didn't see that. Oh, well. Never mind. Not a big deal. And we will then be able to level up a couple of extras. Oh, I've actually run out of war horses. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's going to be kind of sad, because now I won't be able to gain any more really powerful units in the form of the Raider Noble units or anything like that, but that's okay. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so the Aserai are attempting to take Onira. As you can see, I am extremely far away. They have taken Danustica from us, obviously, a while ago? Didn't they take that back a while ago? I'm actually not sure about that now. But anyway, we are super far away, so it will take me a bit of time to get back there. There's Aldrich. I'm going to try and persuade him. If we can persuade him to join us, we will be in a really good position. Let's have a look. 94%. Yes, there we go. Okay, they're going to give me the obligatory 61% after this one, and we'll probably fail it. Yep, there we go. And then the next one will be 85% or something. Yep, there we go, 85%. So let's try it. There we go. Okay, whew. A little bit predestined, I suppose you could say, and Aldrich is probably going to want a huge amount of money. As you can see, yeah, he doesn't even want 1.2 million. And this guy being released also doesn't do anything for him. And none of these either. I think we tried that beforehand, didn't we? Yeah, it's because Aldrich has a whole bunch of really good fiefs, and that's the main reason. But anyway, we're just going to send my forces in here. We lost a grand total of 4 against him, and 10,000 gold is our reward there too. Pretty nice, not too bad. And we'll take some light cavalry, and that's pretty much it. No knights? No knights? No knights. But maybe some days. Ah, yes, I had to do it. Okay, anyway, I'm going to be making my way back to our own territory. It's going to take me a while, and then we will be speaking to the Aserai, and maybe either I will make peace with the VLANDians. I don't really want to do that because we have weakened them so significantly over the course of this episode. Because as you can see, VLANDIA now has 12,000 instead of, what was it? 14, 15,000? Not entirely sure. The Aserai have obviously gained power and indeed strength because they have been able to gather a bunch of Northern Empire vassals as well into their party. But thankfully the Northern Empire is no more, so now it is literally just a case of non-Empire factions fighting against each other. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.